Tweetie here with SR2Sr-Prepper. Down below you will find different links, and we also have several different playlists and individual videos for you. As a beginning prepper, you need to be prepared for health issues that may arise once the fan gets hit even harder. According to Consumer Reports, 50% of Americans take prescription medicine regularly. It wasn't always like that, though. My grandmother taught me about how she grew medicinal garden 65 years ago. Wouldn't you like to grow your own medicine so you didn't have to rely on expensive pharmaceuticals, which may not always be available? But what we're going to talk about is how your medicinal garden is planted. You want it in a straight row, or would you like it in a raised bed? Would that straight row be right down in the dirt and instantly sown wherever the dirt is? Or raise it up and put in different soil? Let's take a look at some of the pros and cons. The first thing to consider with your medicinal garden is how you want to set it up. So if you want it in rows that are only about 1.5 feet from you, so that you can just reach right there and pick what you need, and have them be in long rows, that's what we're talking about. Now, that is good if you have lots of space. It's suitable for all types of plants. And you could run it down driveways or across the front of your house or across the sidewalk band. You can put it on each side of the walkway as you're going up to the front door, or weaving around the front of the yard so people get a different kind of feel about your house. The cons on this, however, is that it's not suitable for small yards. It's not suitable for people who are renting unless you put it in containers, make it into a semi-raised bed. It requires work to till that soil. You must analyze the soil every year because the nutrients are running out with the weather and they're eaten up by the plants you plant. And it's susceptible to weeds and pests more than a raised bed would be. Plus your neighborhood 2- and 4-legged pests may be trampling on them or gobbling them up if it's something they can see that is really actually food. Now the second option is the raised bed. And you can use all kinds of things for a raised bed. You can use planters, you can use wooden boxes, you can use empty dresser drawers, you can use concrete, you can make them out of anything. They're good for small yards. They drain better than row gardens because it doesn't just puddle up wherever the ground feels like it. Fewer insects get into the garden, making organic gardening easier, but at the same time you may have to learn to pollinate some of your items yourself because it isn't directly on the ground. It uses less soil and runoff from the water. It's better for people with back problems or mobility in general. And you don't have to prepare the soil like the row gardening, because mostly the cons are you have to find or purchase the soil for the garden, and so you're going to want to use the best options you can. You must have materials to construct a raised bed, and you should replenish the soil yearly also, or at the very least with perennials, add to the soil every 1 to 2 years because the wind and rain and snow will cause erosion. And for most people, a raised bed is a good choice for a small medicinal garden. You also find it easier to plan it out using a simple spreadsheet or drawing, which you can do with a row bed. Now for the tip of the day, to save money, if you're going to do a raised bed, you can use items that you found if you can find them for free. But pallets are almost always free everywhere, and if you can create one and do a nice job, they work well. And so do planters and buckets that you can get from a place like Dollar Tree. Drill a few holes in the bottom and set them around in a row. Or you can combine raised beds and row beds together and have the raised beds in front, buckets and planters and boxes to hold in the dirt so that it doesn't roll away from the row bed. And you could put the taller items in the row bed and use the shorter items in your planters. Well, that was it. So, tell me what you think. Are you a row bed person or a raised bed person? And tell me why in the comments below. Bye. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up. If you want more from us, subscribe, ring the bell so you'll get notified every time. Thanks for dropping by. Angels all around.